Hello and welcome, as it is the 13th day of May 2021. My name is Derek and this is the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades, and amongst the like, each his own risk and their own reward. In this video, going to look at 3 different charts, multiple time frames on Bitcoin against Cardano, and go over things like, well, within this chart, what do I see? I see like a symmetrical-ish kind of triangle, maybe making these lower highs, but we're also making these higher lows within what has been a very phenomenal move. But it's the 1 minute term time frame. It doesn't usually mean too much. The second chart I'm going to look at is Bitcoin, and on the 1 minute term time frame yesterday, it did mean a lot. So I'm going to go over that and a bit other things as well. And then the third one, and I haven't seen this one, but I pretty much know what I'm going to look. Oh wow, nice move there. I don't know what I'm going to see, but I pretty much do. That's a Bitcoin dominance. Interesting move here on the 1 minute. Big buy. Someone just came in at like 3,700. They bought it up at like, they bought 3% more, and boom, just one shot. So someone big came in and buy, another price buy to its normal stage. I think if you see just that, if you happen, and I'm not going to do it, you would buy Cardano. This is where you probably find like the 3x Cardano fund too, or whatever, and then you go long on it, and then you look to sell in the next few minutes, and it's probably going to win. Oh, if it sells. But I guess since it's the start of the video, I can go back to Cardano at the very end, see how it works. What kind of move has it had? Look at this. Oh, 5 minute. Wow. It's been in a decent run over the last day and change. Had this move on May the 12th at the 8 p.m. 20-hour stamp. Successfully went sideways. Then nice little up move, corrected it successfully, and wow, what an up move. And it's in the process of, are we correcting it successfully? Question mark. Support has been established in at 3,500. We've been majorly establishing it here, meaning this level breaks, the next key level's here. Resistance, I mean, we've been seeing that symmetrical stuff on the 1, so I guess that's where it might be important. But we're also talking the 5 minute here. Nice little uptrend here. A lot of this stuff I want to look at is more longer term stuff. I mean, we're getting closer. I mean, we can see the last week or so. Higher highs, higher lows. So 4-hour chart gives us a few weeks. Most certainly higher highs and higher lows. And what I like about this, from after leaving here, nice little up move. Correct successfully within the 18 lows. Retest this level, but this is where it stays amongst this level where it was like resistance before. That's the big thing. Oh, it's so huge to make a higher low. I've said that before. There's that so huge point in where it did it. Matching high to this. Okay, again, so huge to make a higher low. But now, higher low has been upgraded. It did it. And in the situation where if we resisted here, oh, higher low could be big, which means, oh, maybe here. Of course, that never happened. We've had a nice big move. So this little trend in here broke to the upside. Nice move on the daily term. Okay. February 27th, end of the month, pretty much. 3,198 was the high. Pull back and look at this showing amongst the 18. Nice little breakout here on the 5th of May. This level of potential resistance is a little bit below it, but that's below it and a little bit, and it's now above it. So this general area here of 3,200 to about 28 change is where I'd be looking for support on the more longer term. Don't really think there's much, actually there is, to go over amongst the weekly. I guess I don't remember everything I looked at. Wow, nice setup. Okay, 2018 highs are here. I have this move. Then I feel like doing Fibonacci just for something to do. And normally, if I'm going to look at a proper logarithmic chart, then I could really tell you, like, okay, 38.2%, we got this high here. So this should still be difficult, like here, but that's not where the key numbers are, though. Before we get to that, I mean, look at how small these pictures are of candles compared to that. So you have this, so this is a tiny green candle. What did it go up? 14.8%. How about this large one here? This one is up 29. Wow. And then here, 15.79. Yeah, poor log scale. as it goes. Which means this, to me, it looks as if this is probably breaking out past 61.8, which means this is probably going to be going huge high sky high fly. But again, before mass fib, make this breakout, come back, and yeah, it struggles a little bit with the 18 or has an extra bit of time, but it still supports this key area of resistance. And then this has been a huge breakout. Has this move, a couple of periods just hanging in there, and then a nice little lift-off spot where you have one big up week, couple weeks where you hang in there with good grinding gains, and then another big up week, you correct back and you establish a higher low. And you did two things amongst the next 6 periods. One, showing strength amongst the 18 highs, and within the second last one, you came back to where you came from and did another retest of previous support. Establish support here. There's your grinding for 6 days. I've talked about this pattern before. A couple times I'm sarcastic, and I'll say I don't know if it means too much, and when I say that, it means a lot. Probably, but I mean that's just up to you to decide and how it, and what it means and whatever. So it makes this higher low or matching low kind of deal to this. Breaks all these levels of resistance, and then we've had the excitation getting past this level of resistance. And it's barely had a break above. So I expect, just by looking at that the opportunity for decent further gains on the short run, and even most certainly intermediate term run, when you have this pretty high in here, to be pretty good. So where could we go? Let's calculate Fibonacci. What's this high? Got 60. That's higher than 6,500. Looks like over 8,000, closer to 10. 87, 88. Okay. What I do is I take that high and I divide it by the low. So I got a calculator that will do that for me. So the high is that number there. Now the lowest price, when I do this with this chart, I like to just, easiest way is to scroll down and then you can see which is the lowest level on here. And it really doesn't matter because you could be like, oh, you know, I just want to take this general area here. Maybe it might work better, but anything in this area is going to work. I'm just going to go with this low here. 396, so even 4 would work too. You could even go one of these lows in here too. So we'll go 400 even. And look at that move. That's over a 20x move. That's just as it goes. Whatever on the 829, 23, 6 break. So 1,300 and 2,700. So let's just take a look at that. Well, past the 27. Exactly like I said. It broke the 61.8. I could tell. I've done this long enough to know how this works. Okay. Confirmation. Well, no. Well, confirmation of statement. Market statement. It just broke 61.8. Therefore, the next level with 76.4 being a level along the way is back to previous high. So therefore, next 2 target levels for the 239 and 87.88. How do you do? Now, as far as upside is concerned, I got an up target here, but I don't like to do it this way. I like to, this is where I have to actually take the earlier low, by the way. So it might be lower than 400. I want to take the high divided by the low for the up move, so the low before the move. And then I want to find out whatever the 61% down move is, which is this number here. So it would work out to 87.88 divided by probably around, I'm not even going to, let's just see what 300 does for the low. $10.90. So I want to see what the number is. And should I go with this chart here? Should I find a different Cardano chart? Because this could have been lower before at some point. But you know, it's a good breakout low anyway for what it's worth. 287. So it's, yeah, so it's not going to be much. So, but, well, it's going to probably be 1070 or something now. 1060 even. Okay, so 87.88 divided by 1061. to the root of 1.618 multiply 1061 again is the target level, which is 32,458 on a break of key resistance. Now let's move on to Bitcoin. Currently barely over 50,000 US. And in a monster uptrend within the weekly term. We've had the price action for what has been really here, February 15th, so middle of February, that's 3 months ago. It's been pretty much consistently near 50,000. Now it's supporting that level for the entire duration of that quarter-year period. It's resisted into the 60s, but it hasn't spent much time north of 60, even north of 57. And on the daily, and you probably already know what happened yesterday, it's a big down move, 13%. And even further when you consider that the low was down towards here at 45, 46. To evaluate it the best, I'm just going to quickly go over this and then go to the 1 minute where it gets really interesting. But you can see the breaks of these key supports, even the 18 here at the 12 clock stamp, and boom, down she went to the downside. And big down move here, 1 hour stamp, losing 6% on this hour. 15-minute term. Interesting here on the short run, and you see this, you've been in a major downtrend, and these markets can take a decent amount of time to heal. It's only been a little bit just in the market sense of, okay, so you have this big down move, and you had all this stuff even before that brought it down. So now you correct it here within the 18, a little bit of playing. I hate to say showing strength on the 18 highs when you have all this beforehand. I kind of want to see before that to see bullish behavior. And even though well before that it is, you still got to, and it might have trapped a few people in here. I can see, and I if I was trading, I might have been one of them. Like this little range in here, 245, 3 stamp, it looks like it's going to break this resistance and go off, and a little bit of a failed breakout. And okay, move down towards here. But now it's had a decent amount of periods, several dozen, but that's only an okay amount. And if it makes a move, how are you going to react to it when it gets up to these levels here? And it establishes what's probably going to be a lower high, 5-minute term. So there we can see just a little bit more of this, but the 1 is where I want to go, because this is the event down here. This is what brought it to 45. And look how fast these moves were. Or how big. You got 4% down, 2% down, and that's after you had this move in here at May the 12th. So how did the market look before this happened? I mean, there's no sign at this point that it's going to, we have a big move down now, but it had been making a lot of lower highs and lower lows even before then, and it's just continued to do so. So it's established this lower high to, we'll say this one. It made a higher low to this one. Now we got this low here, which is higher than that. I mean, this little bit is still lower than that. And it's got a long ways to go, but 1 minute. Let's look at the velocity and how huge this goes. You've already had all of these, at this point here, the market's already been in a monstrous down move. You see here, down like 2% on this 1 minute after it was down 1% the minute before, after it was already down a lot before that. And then you have just a little bit of a buy, 1.5% up. I mean, 1.5% even in Bitcoin could take several hours sometimes. And then pause 0.45% or 0.5% almost, 4/9. And then in 1 minute down 2.87, next minute down 2. Next minute down 0.83, and it was down even more at one point with the line, as you can see. It was even up a little bit too at one point with this move, but then of course buyers come in, 1.3 up, 1.11, 1.1. I mean, these are just monstrous moves that occur every now and again. That was one of them. And then you're only going to have so often we get this monster volatility amongst the short term, because you can see now the moves are getting more back to normal as things settle in there a little bit, but it's still going to have to react within the last move that it had. And when it comes down to it, it's been in such a monster uptrend. that for me, when I look at a chart like this and I'm trying to determine what occurs next, some sort of correctionary move via that of price or time to the 18, and the 18 of lows right now is rising at over 24,000. Just keep that in mind. And the highs is rising at 35. Or this thing has had just a little bit of small correctionary moves, nothing big within this move. What has already been nothing monster, but very steady of an upward move. Why do I say nothing monster? Because it never did break, but is already not at, oh my goodness, rate of ascent. Didn't even really attempt it. So therefore, you get above any of these resistance levels, it's like 60,000 change. Well, it's got the potential to make it now maybe to that six-figure number. It is in need of a correction. And a lot of altcoins right now are up. And well, Bitcoin has dominated a lot of them overall. And well, Bitcoin dominance hasn't worked out as well. I haven't looked at the chart in a few days. But I'm seeing everything, every one of my coins that I have is up today. It seems like the entire market is up. So and Ethereum has just been kicking ass lately too. Oh my, I haven't just thought about that. I just haven't even thought about that until now. On that, via that of dominance of Bitcoin, because I know for like a few days, I don't own much Ethereum. I have some on it, like a quick little fun trade. That's it. But I see, oh my goodness, this value's going way up. Ethereum, I know, is kicking ass. I haven't even looked at it in a while. Oh, but it's like probably like breaking out like no other. Yippers. Actually, monthly time frame. I'll look at the daily, but still monthly. Not as good as I thought today, but either way, Bitcoin dominance is next. And as I expected, it's getting its ass kicked. How much further do we got to go to previous support? A little bit, but it's been. I mean, it's at a spot here where you almost got to be really consider maybe selling altcoins for Bitcoin, but maybe not until we get to previous support. What's going to happen when we get to this previous support level? I don't like Bitcoin. I really don't. In the sense of, what don't I like about it? Well, have you seen the average transaction fees for it? Yeah, and I know other people, and I can see why, and I know it's a problem for, and I can console with them, although it doesn't affect me immediately. I don't think is the cost of energy to produce it, but those transaction fees on Bitcoin are crazy. And you can say, oh, it's like $18-20 to buy, or $20-30, and it's been higher to make a transaction on Bitcoin. You have to pay that to miners. And okay, well, you have to do with a big purchase, because when it was $18, let's buy a cup of coffee for $20, $2 for the coffee, $18 for the transaction fee. Oh, if you're buying a car, or if you're buying something even like 100 or a couple hundred ounces of silver, a few ounces of gold, hey, not that much of an extra added fee, and it's like, man, whatever for that. You're right, but I still would rather spend $1 or 50 cents or $2 rather than 20 for the exact same to get the exact same result that's going to work, which would be in a case like that a transaction at buying gold and silver, of course, but and a situation there, oh, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Bitcoin Cash, all these other ones with lower fees. Oh, you can choose them instead. How much lower can this go? As it went for Bitcoin, man, all those red candles, but as it goes for Bitcoin, I've thought the whole time, and this is going back all of these years, Bitcoin's probably going to make a nice little move, break that 20,000 resistance, and where do I think it's going to go? Well, 60,000 is conservative, which is pretty much where it's been, but realistically, yeah, we're going to get the six-figure mark. I mean, I think it's got the potential going to like $250,000, maybe to get to maybe earn the second comma. I don't think it will, but I think it could. So let's play to that level. I do have to think that when it comes down to it, it's going to be key high, which is when I got into the game, we'll call it, and even beforehand. Key low, oh my goodness, of a major low, which was basically around the start of the year 2018, second week or so. And then, oh my goodness, all those years where Bitcoin's bearish and sideways and Bitcoin's going down. And so many people in the crypto game see their portfolios go down 2, 4, 10, 20, 50x or whatnot. That's just how it went. And of course, Bitcoin dominance went higher. And as I've stated earlier in the video, markets could take a long time to heal in the sense of, and this one here, not as much, but you see this move here, how it does all this sideways, and then there, boom, all of a sudden, monster move. So key high, key low, key high, whichever one you want to pick, now it's going to make key low. Therefore, I think key low is going to be significantly lower than 35. Do we do 20, 22, 15, 18? Wait and see. It could get pretty interesting. Maybe before then, this finds like short to intermediate term support. I mean, it's got to go. It's got to stop going down at some point. I mean, what's the monthly? It's just crazy. But you can see here, boom, and then there's the up move and that. See, this is the type of thing that I'm thinking of right in here, and this might be the perfect example to show. You have that monster move down. That's this monster move down. The pre-move here. This is a pre-move here. And then on the intermediate term move that I'm talking about, again, this is monthly time frame. So 1, 2, like a quarter or a third of a year it takes to get to this point. And then there you have it. So an example of this might be something in the area of maybe it continues to go down somewhere near these lows and we get some sort of bounce. And of course, I'm talking about like intermediate term like before, like a 3, 4, 5 month, whatever, 6 month period to make key low to key high on this play. And then down to like that, something in that area. And then who knows, maybe it's fast like this. Maybe it takes 8 months to do that final second wave that goes lower. But that's the type of ideas in which I think is going to come across. But I really don't know about the status of Bitcoin's NB, and I still don't know. It's been the first one, and it's still the top dog. I just don't, maybe I don't listen to too many people in the community. I don't hear too many people complaining or talking much about those costs. Yet, did they not see them when they're transacting and moving funds? I do. When I'm on an exchange, oh, it's 30,000 or 50,000 Satoshi. That's expensive. That's a lot of fiat. Or I go to my Trezor hardware wallet, and it says, oh, fee is going to be like $18.52 and all that kind of stuff. You know, there was a time way back when in here, I can't remember what the month and day was, or what even the month really, and year, 2018-19 time frame, but. And that's when Bitcoin transfers were like 40 cents and 20 cents and 60 cents and 15 cents all the time. And I'm looking back at my transactions that I'm like having like a decent amount of them because it was easy to do. When I got into the game in here, it was like 4 cents, 6 cents, 10 cents. And then it didn't take long for me. I was right off the bat, I was seeing the prices go up on it. But my original few Bitcoin transfers, this is February 2017, were like 10 cents, whatever. And then I think go 20 cents, 30 cents, 50 cents. Then you get the $1, $2, $3 for a while. And it was like, is it worth doing the fee? A lot of times, yeah, I can do it. And more I've seen Bitcoin as a little bit of a means of, well, I do have the holding of it, but it's not really trading much against anything else. And when I do trade it against something else, that'd be like, say, some sort of altcoin, which is big when it gets down to this because I might have to do this again with it, where you sell an altcoin off against Bitcoin. So if I were to do this knowing that it's going to cost me so much to get it off that exchange, and how big are these plays going to be? How many different coins do I want to do? And I guess it's got to be big enough in a lot of them, which is where I probably want to go. But as I mentioned, if it's just going to be a move like this, what it would mean for me is I'd only want to do a little bit, and I'm probably going to have to be fast. Meaning what I'm going to have to hope for is one of two things. One, it just keeps going lower. I'll do it again. I mean, this goes like 20. I'm wrong, that is. And it just, oh my goodness, what a better play would have been. And what do I do with all those extra gains now? Stuff like that. But if this goes back up, it's probably going to mean the altcoins are going to take a retracement. Bitcoin, not as much. And if I put in that high amount enough and I put it in my wallet, I spent like the 50,000 Satoshi fee. Oh, that's expensive, or whatever it is on a lot of the sites. But just make it one big one, though. I mean, sell some Theta, sell some Tesla, sell this, sell that, sell that, sell that, sell that kind of deal. And then one big withdrawal. And then when it's time to write, you'd have to deposit back, and then you're gonna look in your wallet and be like, oh, $24 to get it off the exchange. Maybe I'll do like 2 or 3 buys. I guess I could, like in the future, I'd be saying, like if it goes back up, I guess Theta's a good buy, maybe Tesla's a good buyback. And then I don't even know if I want to do that or not, in the sense of, like I said, I'm really bearish on Bitcoin on the long term, but it's a decent trade hold off when it comes down to it. One of the videos I'm going to be making soon will be, that I want to do today is a silver video as far as supply, physical supply. Because turning cryptocurrencies into silver and gold can be done, and well, when you buy gold, it's another $25 to buy it or so because of the fees. You know, I haven't heard too many people talk about the fees in Bitcoin, how it's a problem. I think it is. I'm just repeating it over and over again, but it is actually something that does affect me, which is why I'm bringing it up. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a good day. Bye-bye.